Yo, this is Primat Rhyme for Primat City TV, hanging out with
DJ Vadim
and Yarah Bravo.
All right.
That's pretty sexy, right?
Look at her. I mean,
bringing sexy to hip hop.
Did you hear her singing? Yes, you did. Did
Yeah.
you hear her rapping? Yes, you did. And look at her. That's
Yes,
sexy.
you did. Yeah.
Yo, you see where we at? Hip Hop Camp 2011 10th anniversary. Yo, Vadim, I think you've been down with this hip hop camp thing for quite a while, and I think you're also involved in it stuff. Would you tell us some about that, please?
About 11 years ago, me and... No, you don't know my story yet.
Okay, no,
Listen to my story.
Yeah,
Listen.
I know.
11 years ago, me and Yarah made a show in Prague at some little club in a basement, and it was with an English group called Task Force. And it was Afro and Babs who were the promoters. And Babs said to us after the show, it was cool. Yeah, yeah.
Backstage thing, I remember this.
There was like 600 people in this club. It was cool. The club was packed. And Babs goes, you know what? I'm going to make a hip-hop festival. And I'm like, do it. Cool. But you know what? I don't know what kind of people you meet or she meets. I meet people who talk, have big dreams, but never do anything. And I'm like, cool, do it.
Procrastinating.
Yeah. But he did it. And we went to the first one, and it was like, like 1,000 people, or
maybe 1,000 people.
1,200 people, 800, I don't know. Like, it wasn't huge.
It was tiny.
And I was like, wow, this is cool, though. You know, in a field, there was a lot of love, a lot of hip-hop fans. And now, there's 24,000 people. 24,000.
Rocking it out there.
Yeah, and you know what's amazing? I know like hip-hop is huge in Deutschland. And I know you have the Hip-Hop Open in Stuttgart and the 071.
Not anymore.
It stopped?
They quit a couple of years ago, but we still got Splash Festival. So.
Yeah, so...
We should do Hip Hop Camp in Berlin at Tempelhof.
Haha, they should.
No, really, when I was
Maybe.
bread and butter, I saw it.
Spread it all over Europe. Do a couple of hip hop camps.
Why not? Yeah. So, yeah, we saw it, me and Yarah. We came basically from the 1st to the 7th. And then on the 8th one, Yarah did her own show. She did the female stage, right? And that was called?
No, Unity. No, we went, you and me went with First Rate. Then we came as One South. And then we came as the Soundcatcher. Remember? And I did an opening party, and then I did the Unity stage. Because I was the only girl at Hip Hop Camp for about 6 years. And it came to the point where I felt like it was a fucking joke. And I was...
I'm alone. What the fuck is going on?
No, it's not even about that. I was like, look, I would love to share the bill with some other women. Like, really, I'm a woman in hip-hop. Like, let me see others represent my kind, you know? And I was bugging them for 2 years. Then the book Bahamadia, and they asked me, are you happy now? And I'm like, look, there's one girl to 10 guys anyway, so no, I'm not happy. And then eventually they gave me my own stage. And this was the Unity stage where me and Karen from Sabotage Booking from Berlin, we booked every artist. And our headliners were Roxanne Shante, Bahamadia, Invincible, Eternia, Stacey Ups, and then girls from all over Europe. And everyone paid their own way to get here. Like, it was all about the fucking heart, you know? It's one of my proudest moments, for sure. I never organized something this big, and I would never do it again because they gave me a fucking headache. And I left the festival in a wheelchair, and I'm not even kidding.
What the fuck?
In a wheelchair, because I was exhausted. Vadim picked me up at London Stansted, and I was rolled out. And Vadim was like, fuck, what happened to you? Yeah, I was destroyed. It was too much fucking work, you know?
That's what I call passion.
Oh, I'm passionate, baby. Don't even ever question my passion for hip-hop.
I would never,
You know what?
ever.
That is hip-hop love. Like to put your fucking
see that.
life on the line so much that you end up in a fucking wheelchair. I don't know how to say wheelchair in German, but you have to tell people.
Rollstuhl.
The Wallstuhl. Wallstuhl for hip-hop, you know what I mean?
Rollstuhl for hip-hop.
That is hardcore hip-hop love. And the second thing I want to say, there should be more women in hip-hop.
That's what I'm saying all the time. I
More
was
women
talking
on
to Rod
stage.
Digger about that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like only a few women out there, but if you get to listen to some of the stuff of the women that do hip hop, it's most of the time it's great stuff, and I go, well, what's going on? It's it's dope. It's fucking dope.
I definitely think that a lot of times it's above average because there are not that many, and the ones that stick, they work so fucking hard. So when you're up there where people see them,
and they know like it's so we gotta compete against the men, and then they grow so
no,
strong.
I mean personally, I like when women are women. You know, I don't like women that sound like men because for me, then I might as well listen to a dude. You know, I like women to bring a female perspective and a female vibe to it. Not in a sexual way where they have to take off their clothes, but at least recognize that you are a woman. You know, you can wear something on your head. You don't even have to show anything, but you are still a woman. You know. Anyways.
Yeah, man. So big up Graziella because she's bringing like the soul and the rapping.
Graziella is the new girl of the Electric of Vadim's group, and yeah, she was part of Foreign Beggars before, you know Foreign Beggars?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, she used to sing with them, yeah. And she's definitely one to look out for, Graziella.
We're gonna do that. So as we like talked about the history of Hip Hop Camp, I want to know a little bit about your history. You grew up in London. You grew up, I think, also in England, but somewhere else. Where and how did you grow up? How did you grow up musically? And how did you come into this, I won't call it business, into this life you're living now and into this love?
I mean, I grew up in, mostly in London, UK. And in London, I met Yara in 1999, and we started working together. She came from Sweden, then moved to London. And at that time, London was, well, I mean, it still is the biggest city in Europe, and like, you know, 12 million people. There's a big hip hop scene in London, UK, so.
You're a London head. I mean, Vadim has a British passport, but it says that he's born in St. Petersburg. But I see him as a London producer. Like, I don't see him as a Russian producer. You know, I don't care where he's born. Like, he represents London without a question. You know, wouldn't you say that though?
Yes, yeah.
So, me, I came from Sweden to London. I grew up in Sweden. I did hip-hop there, but in Swedish. I was 17, turning 18, and I was like, I'm sick of this place. I want to experience something new, and I got a one-way ticket to London. And the first day, I went with my suitcase to an open mic jam, you know? And then the Skinny Man, Task Force were on the mic, and I got on the mic. And then I said on the mic, I don't have a place to stay because I just come from the airport. And then people took me in and introduced me to everybody, and I met Vadim like within a week. Yeah, and I've been linked to him since then, you know, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Will you ever rap in Swedish again?
No.
No. It's like, it's over.
Okay, there are 8 million people that speak Swedish. How many people speak English?
That's the point.
That's the answer of your question.
Yeah, cool. So how did you get into producing?
Well, I started listening to hip hop like in the mid 80s, like 84, 85. And at that time I was playing a lot of tennis. I was young.
Me too.
I used to love tennis. I still love tennis. And one of my friends who I played tennis with, he bought some turntables. And I used to go to his house, and he was into hip hop, and his sister was going out with a local, like, big name DJ, hip hop DJ. And I was like, wow, you know. He got us into the parties, and it was so cool. We were like 16, 17, 15, 16, going to a party, and it was like 20, 25-year-olds. And it was like these hip hop parties, and it was like incredible. I was like, wow, this is what I want to be. I want to be a hip hop DJ. And then I bought some turntables. And then once you start, you know, you have the turntables and you think, oh, well, I don't know, maybe it's cool to mess around with some samples. And I got some samples, and in 92, I started like just copying the people who inspired me.
Who inspired you?
And at that time, it was DJ Premier, DJ Muggs from Cypress Hill, Large Professor, Pete Rock.
Yeah. The big four.
Well,
one of the big.
Yeah, and then Dr. Dre as well. So that was 5 people. So Dr. Dre and who did I say?
Pete Rock.
Yeah, no, producers. Anyway, those people, they were my inspiration as producers, and the way I learned to make production was to take the songs that they made and just copy it, to understand how you make music. And I kind of think that's how a lot of people start off doing creative things. You take something that inspires you and you copy it, whether it's a painting or if you're a chef, you copy a famous recipe, or as an MC, you copy a freestyle or whatever.
Or a type of flow.
Yeah, and you learn it. And then you're like, because you have to understand how that person flows. Like you think in flow, okay, you brought up flow. Okay, the big people who make flow is maybe people like Freestyle Fellowship or Jay-Z or Juice and Vakil or certain Eminem. And even now, Kanye West, who was never the greatest MC, but he's definitely got his own flow because people copy him. But it's really weird because I know how hard it was for him to get a record deal, and yet people copy his flow, and they copy the way he slurs his words, you know? And it's important to know how people do stuff to create your own style, because like Yarah said before, you can't create something from nothing. Like, all the people that you
need a foundation.
Yeah, all the people that you consider the greatest MCs right now, whoever it may be, whether they do Deutsch rap or English rap, American rap, whatever, they are based on something. They didn't invent something. So whoever the new school Munich MCs are, they didn't just invent it. People had to come from somewhere. So those groups like Stieber Twins and a.k.a. and Torch and whoever, they had to do their shit in the 90s. For people in Munich to do their shit now, in 2011.
You're right.
If they didn't do their shit in the 90s, there would be no Munich rap now. And just in the same way.
What more can I say? I wouldn't be here today if the old school didn't pave the way.
Exactly. And I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for people like Public Enemy and LL Cool J and Stetsasonic and those people. And everything that they did in the 80s and the 90s, I'm trying to build on now in the 2010s.
Yeah, and advance that shit.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Progress and
Exactly.
new steps.
Yeah.
So now we ain't got no more time. It's a pity. I could have talked to you for hours. Thank you, DJ Vadim. This is Primat City TV, DJ Vadim, Hip Hop Camp 2011.
Okay. Ich bin DJ Vadim, and you are watching Primat City TV. Primat City TV, DJ Vadim, Deutschland. Sehr gut.